friendship, you will end up with a stormy but passionate mess. In order for your relationship to work, you need to love your partner, like your partner, and be willing to stick it out through thick and thin. As director of the Stanford University Forgiveness Project, I have probably taught more people to forgive in the United States than anyone else during the past decade. I have conducted the largest successful forgiveness research study to date, and my research has proven that forgiveness heals a wide range of emotional and psychological issues, from severe trauma such as the murder of a child to dealing with the loss of money in the stock market. I have taught forgiveness in corporate settings, in medical and law schools, at numerous churches and synagogues, and in a host of other religious and secular settings. Also, I have trained numerous therapists in my forgiveness methods and helped them learn to use my work in their practices. In addition, I have worked with thousands of disappointed and angry couples and individuals who have been hurt in their relationships. Listening to countless stories of infidelity, alcohol abuse, mistreatment of children, disregard for feelings, and other causes of divorce and disagreement, I have seen firsthand how difficult it is to make relationships work. In fact, my dozen years of teaching and research on forgiveness have convinced me of just how hard it is to have a loving and lasting union. But more than that, this work has shown me how essential forgiveness is and why it needs to be at the center of our relationships. Forgive for Love shows how to forgive the things people do to the ones they love. The skills taught in this book not only will help you come to terms with a grievance or disagreement in the past, but will also enable you to prevent problems from developing in your current relationship, no matter how good it is. The tools discussed in this book are for people in a committed relationship. I often use the word marriage, but you do not need to be married to find these tools beneficial. They will also work in your relationship with a significant other, a life partner, or a lover. The book is primarily for people who have chosen a life partner or who have been dating one person for an extended period of time and want their relationship to work. The principles can also be applied to other long-term relationships in which disagreement is inevitable, such as those with your parents, your children, or your longtime friends. However, even though most of the ideas in Forgive for Love can help you in any relationship, the book is not designed as a guide to casual dating. Think about it. The centrality of commitment in relationships is expressed through the marriage vows, which ask us to love our partners through richer and poorer, in sickness and in health, and for better and for worse until death. That means we promise to love them when they are not doing well, when they have failed, when life is not exactly turning out as hoped, or when we're going through a financial reversal. What I see in the marriage vows is a basic prescription. If we want our relationships to last, we better be prepared to forgive. The vows make it clear that over the life of a marriage, we will experience difficulty and pain, and that it is our responsibility to stay connected to our partners. How could we possibly do this without forgiveness? What other form of healing would clean the slate and give us fresh eyes and an open heart? Unfortunately, most examinations of successful relationships have neglected the subject of forgiveness. Until now, forgiveness has not been front and center as an aid to a sustainable marriage. Forgive for Love is the first book to explore forgiveness from both a scientific and a clinical perspective. My entire professional career has led me to believe that forgiveness is central to a happy and functional relationship. I am licensed as a therapist to work with individuals, couples, and children, and have earned 2 advanced degrees from prestigious universities. I have been supervised by excellent clinicians and first-rate therapists. About 15 years ago, I got a master's degree in psychology and a license as a marriage and family counselor. Following that, I received a doctorate and a license as a clinical psychologist after numerous classes, much training, 6,000 hours of clinical supervision, and a 2-part licensing examination. In all these years of study and experience, I was never once taught the importance of forgiveness in helping 2 people become a successful couple. Forgiveness was not one of the interventions I learned, nor was it a topic for supervision and clinical training. When I began the Stanford Forgiveness Project, there were only a handful of published studies that showed the positive effects of teaching people to forgive. My education and training